Today, I'm going to tell you about literally the only thing that you ever really need to concern yourself with when manifesting, whether that's a specific person or anything else. The only thing that really matters. Hello, my fellow flawless, limitless, sexy, sassy, saucy HBICs. How are you in this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? How are you all? I hope you're all doing fabulous. I hope you're all choosing to be the versions of yourself that have exactly what you want. I hope that's what you're doing, because you know that decision is the only thing that matters when manifesting. Yes, today I'm going to tell you about literally the only thing that you ever really need to concern yourself with when manifesting, whether that's a specific person or anything else. The only thing that really matters. But first, if you need help figuring out what's going on between you and your manifestation, please feel free to email me at manifestingwithKimberly@gmail.com. All of my coaching options are in the drop box below. They're in the screens that just went by, I think, if I attach them to it. I have 3 channel memberships. Yes, I have 3 lovely channel memberships with lovely channel members. And I would highly encourage you to become one. Yes, I highly encourage you to check out the VIP, the Advanced Manifestors group. That's the group I think you should join, because that's the one that gives you access to all the channel memberships. And I am intending this video goes up before the next Advanced Manifestors meeting. We do meet weekly. All the channel memberships meet weekly. The Advanced Manifestors is where we are going to deep dive everything manifestation, everything, all the books, and the differing perspectives on how to get what you want. That's the group that does that. And we're having a special edition version of the group this coming week, because it's the VIP group, where we're going to talk about anything. If you have had an ayahuasca or mushroom experience, as long as it relates to consciousness, it's something we can talk about. Or any other weird reality experiences. This coming week's group is going to be all about that. So Kim, you better put this video up before the next meeting. Just saying, okay? Editing note. Also, I know, I'm bright red. I just finished working out, so it's going to stay red for a little bit, but that's okay. It's okay. You can handle it. I'm assuming you can handle my sass. And if you're new here, how you doing? I'm Kimberly, and I am obsessed with knowing everything there is to know about manifestation, as well as getting what I want and getting it in a timely fashion, like preferably instantly. Yeah, just saying. And if that interests you too, and you can handle the sass, please subscribe and come back and see me. I really would appreciate it. Side note, please tell me that you subscribed, because YouTube doesn't always tell me the who is becoming an HBIC, and I want to know who my new friends are. Okay, I do my best to reach out to you in the comments, obviously, if you do tell me. I think that's it. Oh, the other channel memberships, you got the Advanced Manifestors, we got the exclusive lives. That's where we talk success stories only, including tips and tricks about manifestation, and the hot seat group. And that's the group where you can ask me anything you want about what's going on in your reality. And if you need a judge, that's the group for that. But it does come with a trigger warning, because you are going to hear circumstances. And if circumstances trigger you, then that ain't the group for you. That's all I'm going to say. So that is enough selling myself. Yeah, you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Clapper. You got me everywhere, including my other YouTube channel, Kimberly's Other Life, which I know I say it, but thank you very much for all of you that have joined over there so far. I really do appreciate you. I'm doing my own half-assed version of a Vlogmas this year. Not daily uploads, but that's not that. Shut up, Kim! Let's talk about the only thing that you ever need to concern yourself with when manifesting, truthfully. The only thing is who you are aware of being, who you really believe you are. Your identity is why you are experiencing whatever you're experiencing in reality. It is completely, utterly, only based off of that. And I know that can be confusing when we apply logical thinking to that, because it is very easy to, to question if you're manifesting a specific person when someone is not being so lovely to you and your specific person isn't showing up the way you want. It really does feel like that person is definitely operating from free will. I know it feels that way. I used to feel that way too. Free will, that concept in of itself, used to be really hard for me to accept, because when my specific person was showing up not choosing me, not wanting to be in a relationship with me, I believed he had free will, like he was purposely choosing to pick somebody else. Nope. It's not because they're operating from free will. As Neville says, it appears they have their own bodies. It appears that they have their own human existence, but their reality is rooted and ends with you. Because who you are is God, or universe, or higher power, source energy, moonbeams, which equals pure, unadulterated consciousness. You are consciousness experiencing reality through whoever you are. I'm Kimberly. So consciousness is experiencing, or God is experiencing reality, physical reality, through Kimberly. And from there, it feels like it's Kimberly doing it, but it's Kimberly from free will choosing who I want to be. You're doing the same exact thing, whether you're aware of it or not. But if you're watching manifestation content, I'm assuming you're aware of it. So when we are manifesting for another, whether that's actually manifesting your lover or a new love, or maybe you're manifesting like the healing of a family member or a friend, or you're manifesting they successfully get the job they want, or whatever. When you're manifesting for another, yeah, what you believe about that person definitely matters. But even that is a part of who you are. It's a part of the identity. So who you believe you are every day, every moment, is determining your experience in physical reality. So when I say to you, when you hear me say, who do you believe you are? Someone brand new to this, and if you're not brand new, if you're thinking of that, wanting to answer that question from the place of, well, I'm Kimberly, or I'm whatever your name is. I'm Jason Momoa. I'm Tom Hardy. Yeah. But no, it's not just that surface level shit. And your name, your address, your social security number, your birthday is not what I'm referring to. Those are just bits of information that you have been conditioned with. You have been conditioned to believe your name is your name and everything else, right? Another human, either your parent or whoever raised you, called you by a certain name enough to condition you to believe they're speaking to you. When someone says Kimberly, right? My instinct is to look because I've been conditioned to believe I'm Kimberly. From there, I had to be told my birthday is when my birthday is, May 19th. I was told information and it was conditioned within me. We all have that, right? We all know we have a name and all those other little details. But when you hear the question, when you think about who you believe you are and how it applies to what you're experiencing in 3D reality, it's deeper than that. It's thinking about your beliefs. It's thinking about what you believe is true for you. And out of instinct, out of conditioning, the next thing we do is tend to quickly think about past experiences. And we reattach ourselves to those experiences. When I first found manifestation, I was manifesting a specific person. I believed at that time my identity was a middle-aged woman because I was 38 when I found manifestation and 42 when I started actually applying. I am 50 now. I was a middle-aged woman who had a string, like 20 years worth of shit relationships. Like there was only really one good one in that mix. Thankfully, it was my first one, just saying. So I knew what it was like to be treated well. And I could tell when I wasn't being treated well, but just saying. I would have told you that's who I am because of the past experiences, because of the memories I had. That was who I believed I was. The woman who couldn't hold a relationship for more than 2 years even, and had a string of jerks that I dated in my life. I don't think they're jerks now, but that girl, that version of me would have said they were all assholes. Mistreated me. You could tell what state I was in. But I believed that. That's who I was. I can't keep a relationship for more than 2 years on the nose, literally 2 years. And all men are assholes. I'm into men, so my generalized beliefs about men were, if they looked a certain way, that meant they were going to be a cheater. I had stereotypes. And I believed that. And I believed it because of my experiences. We can look at your career, how much money you have. There's an identity attached to those, right? And all those little pieces of you are boxed together. And you're identifying with it, and you're in the habit of identifying as it. What I'm trying to show you is those past experiences, while yes, I believe you that you experienced them, you don't have to accept them as your truth anymore now that you are aware of conscious manifestation. There are an infinite plethora of different choices of who you can be. And it's now up to you to decide who that is, who you want to be, and therefore then start identifying as that person. Well, I wanted to become the version of me experiencing a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with the version of that specific person that I was manifesting who would treat me with unconditional love, would treat me with respect, would treat me like I am a priority to them, that our relationship is a priority to them. But I had to decide that. I had to say, this is what I want. And not let the past experiences tell me that I can't have that. Right? So even if you've never had a relationship, that doesn't matter anymore. You don't have to identify as someone who's never had a relationship anymore if you don't want to. See, in a sense, we're kind of conditioning ourselves to believe we are this new version of ourselves. The only difference is we will always be aware that we really are consciousness. Consciousness choosing to experience reality from this new version of Kimberly or new version of you. So if you want to be in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship, then that's your new identity. Now, the thing is because we are already conditioned and already in a habit of identifying as a version of ourselves, there might be some unfavorable beliefs attached to the person we habitually have been. But see, you're going to make the smart decision and decide that the new version of yourself won't have those beliefs anymore. And you just have to be consciously aware of that, and that is enough to change the identity. If you have the belief that just deciding every day, every single day, that you are this new version of self, and when you think that thought that you are this new version of self, and this is the self who is experiencing a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with the most loving version of your specific person, that will be enough to bring it to you. That will be enough for you to step into that identity. Bearing in mind, there are infinite versions of us. So you might shift through different versions of yourself before you fully land on this new self. But that doesn't mean it has to take you a long time. And this will be a different video, but linear time has nothing to do with manifestation. It just feels like it does because we are conditioned to believe in linear time. But again, we're consciousness. We're God. So there are no barriers. There are no limits. And that's why we call this limitless manifesting, right? Limitless, effortless, flawless manifestation. It's because that's who you really are. That's what unconditional love is. Unconditional love is unconditioned consciousness. It's perfect, whole, at all times. But our awareness, who we are identifying as, our awareness is only ever focused on one version of ourself at a time. But at the same time, you already are all those other versions of yourself. I know that can sound crazy, but you shift through them all the time. You tend to shift and hover around similar versions of ourselves. But you have access, even if it feels a million miles away, you have access to the version of yourself in that loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. You just have to give it your focus, your attention, your awareness. So when you're manifesting, it isn't necessarily needed to deep dive through all those past experiences to figure out why you were ever conditioned with a shitty belief. That's not necessary to manifest. And if you believe it is, well, guess what? That's just one version of you. The version of you who believes it's necessary to go through your history. You see, because it's not your only history, because you're infinite. Your past is now memory. And it's memory, this past, because all time is now. So every single thing you believe you experienced in your past and every single thing you think might be a part of your future is actually happening right now in this present moment. It just doesn't feel like it. Everything we know about ourselves is conditioning. That's all it is. So when I say every single version of you exists right now, it's because it does. Everything that could ever be or that ever was exists now. Think of it as existing in the ether, in the universe, waiting on you to be aware of it. I know it sounds crazy. I know it does. Now, we hear of all different types of techniques out there in manifesting land. And it's what I'm saying is sincerely no shade to the techniques. Some of them I've enjoyed, but they aren't necessary to manifest. The only thing that is necessary is your awareness. So to get what you want, say you're manifesting $1 million. To get that, you start identifying as that millionaire now. You're placing your focus, your attention, your awareness on the version of you that is experiencing that now. So think that thought. You are that now. Where people find it difficult to believe this, or where people kind of fuck this up, is because they're applying logic to that. Logic, in a sense, is a belief in of itself. The belief that logic exists, the belief that logical thinking is a part of the experience. It's a part of the conditioning, but it's a belief. Everything you know is that. Everything. So, you want to manifest your specific person? You want to manifest a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship? You start identifying as it. How to identify? You think the conscious thought. You think. Maybe it would be easy if you thought of a visual picture of what you think you would look like if you were now the you in that relationship, or as the millionaire, or if you're manifesting health, as the version of you that is healthy. And you get to decide what that picture is. And what you come up with is the perfect picture. If you believe it's a picture that indicates you are that now, it's perfect. Use that one. That picture doesn't have to be clear. It doesn't have to be actually perfect, because none of that is required. The only thing that is required to manifest is the conscious awareness, who you are aware of being. Sounds repetitive. Like I say a lot, I make a lot of videos, right? I'm close to 1,300, I think now, if not more. And they're all kind of talking about the same damn thing, just different words. You stumbled upon my video, if you've never watched any of my stuff before, for a reason. And that reason is you manifested it. Everything you're experiencing is a part of who you are identifying as. So when you finally say yes to your desire, right? Yes, I want to manifest that specific person. That's it. It's instant. It's instant that you are that version of yourself instantaneously. Now, may not always feel that way, and that's okay. But it is instant. So therefore, what you are experiencing after that decision is connected, is a part of the orchestration of making that true for you. So when I started identifying as being the version of me already in the relationship, that's who I am. I'm just the girl in a relationship with the person of her choice. That's who I am. From that moment on, everything I was experiencing was a part of the unfolding. That's one way of wording it, or the bridge of incidents that take place to make that statement true, or that affirmation true, or that conscious thought true. Reality always reflects. And the only time that doesn't feel like it's the truth is because you're applying logic to it. When I first made that conscious thought that I'm just going to decide who I am, I'm not going to do any more fucking techniques. I'm just going to say, I am this new self. That's a technique in of itself, right? It's a conscious thought, conscious affirmation. But I chose it. And I then defined on some paper in my journal what I meant when I said, I am new self. I wrote it down. This is what my life looks like as my new self. Nothing on that paper was really in my reality. I didn't see any of the things that I wrote down in that moment. I just consciously did it every day. This is who I am. I am new self. I'm new self. Sometimes if I was having a shit day, I would say, I refuse to be my old self. I refuse it. I refuse it. And I said it with conviction. And when I told myself that I am new self, I said it with conviction. When I say conviction, it's just this internal, I'm accepting nothing less. I am done being that old version of myself. I'm done. Conviction. And like I was saying, everything in my reality began moving to make those affirmations true. And they certainly did. And no, it did not take a long time. And it doesn't have to take a long time for you either. So say it with conviction right now. Number one, first, think, who do you want to be? What do you want your life to look like? How do you want to feel about that life? And you can include all areas of your life. So who is it? Who is that identity? Who is that person that you want to be? And you tell yourself you are that person right now. And say it like you fucking mean it. Because I want you to say it that way, because I like conviction. Say it like you mean it. You are that new self, the new you. That's who you are. And I am telling you that literally right there in that moment that you declared that to yourself, you claimed it for yourself, you really are that new self right now, right in this present moment. Where people trip this up is then they look out into 3D reality and think, well, I don't have the things I think my new self would have. They're not here. Reality is collapsing the old reality. The new reality is coming in. Think of it that way. People, places, things are being rearranged to make that affirmation or that statement, that declaration, the conscious thought true. So you return to that decision with conviction every day. And I'm telling you, reality will reflect you. It truly can be a flawless, effortless journey if you allow it to be. Don't bring in your logic. Leave that at the friggin' door. Make your decision right now. Say it with me right now. I am my new self. Or I am the version of me experiencing. List away. Talk away. I am the version of myself that's in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. I am the version of myself who is experiencing absolutely everything she has ever dreamed of. I literally am experiencing being the girl that's got it all, or the woman who has it all, or the man that has it all. I did it. I finally did it. I got here. I got into the reality I've always wanted to be in. I am here now. I am who I want to be now. That's who I am. You can do this. You can claim who you want to be, and you will get what you want. But don't give up if you fall out. Return. So on that note, I'll see you tomorrow. And I do encourage you to join the VIP, the Advanced Manifestors. It's going to be fun in our next group. I'm just saying, it's going to be a fun one. We're a very loving community. We are. And if you're needing a zhuzh, you need someone to keep you encouraged to keep choosing your new self so that you can experience the life you've always wanted. My HBIC community is the group to put our little virtual arms around you. We'll get you your manifestation. You just wait and see.